Hello, everyone. This is Rocket Rick J18, and today I want to talk with you about a VR that I'm doing for Sammy Thunder. And Sammy wants us to show off our Reindeer Studios t shirts, and so I'm wearing the Menko t shirt, which I've had for, I don't know, probably about a year or so. I think it was one of the first ones that I got after I got the actual Reindeer Studios T-shirt. So anyway, Scott, if you're watching this, tip of the hat to you, lad. And so the other thing Sammy wants us to do is show off some oddball cards. And so I've went through some of my stuff and picked out uh, probably more than I should, but uh, anyway, I've pared it down to a stack here, and I'm just going to show you these cards and tell you very, very briefly about each one. So let's start with modern card, relatively speaking. This is Barry Bonds Topps card, and it is probably now about, I don't know, 30 years old. Anyway, it's the Desert Shield uh, card, which it's the only Desert Shield card I have. So I think that's a bit oddball. The next card I have is I'm going to take this. I should have done this before I started, but I didn't. So you'll have to endure with me. This is a Roberto Clemente card from the TV station in Pittsburgh that broadcast many of the Pirate games, KDKA. I got this card at the National in Chicago a couple of years ago, and it's an awesome card. It's actually from Roberto Clemente personal collection, and so certified by this letter here. Next is technically not a card. It's a it's a postcard, but it's not the original issue of the Pittsburgh uh, playing card set. This is the Mickey Mantle, which was eight of clubs, and I think it also appeared on a five of clubs. The originals were printed in 1962 and sold at Kennywood Park, which is an amusement park in the Pittsburgh area, if you're not familiar with it. Anyway, this is a reprint, but it's kind of an oddball thing. The next card I have to show you is a Mickey Mantle card from the New York Journal American issue. The New York Journal American obviously was a newspaper back in the day, no longer being printed. And this is obviously is the Mickey Mantle version, Mickey Mantle card from that set. I've longed for this card for many years. 1954 was a great time for food issues, and so I've got several here to show you. And this one is a Glendale Meats card of Jim Delsing, On the back, it has his lengthy minor league career stats, which is, and then he made it to the big club. I think originally in Kansas City, but uh, I think that might have been. Yeah, that's the American Association. Actually, it was the New York Yankees that he came up to the big leagues. Of course, Kansas City was the Yankee AAA farm club. So anyway, by 1953, he found his way over to the Detroit Tigers, and that's his card from that food issue. Uh, Glendale Meats packaged hot dogs. Next is another Mickey Mantle card. This is from the um, Dandy Potato Chip Company, 1954. Uh, it was one of the many food issues, along with Red Heart dog food and several other uh, you cards, including Stallmeyer's, which was another hot dog product. Several other local ones. There's a St. Louis Cardinals issue, which I've forgotten the name of. There was SK Meats in Baltimore, and I don't know, several others. So, Stallmeyer was in the New York area. Here's another hot dog issue from 1954, and uh, this is Gil Hodges. It's one of the 300 Great Cards series, the books. People are collecting those, and uh, mostly they collect graded cards, but I guess. But anyway, mine are almost all ungraded. So next is a 1951 Joe DiMaggio and Granny Hamner panel card of the Burke Ross issue. It's not a food issue. Burke Ross was a photographer. He took quite a few, I guess, of the Bowman pictures, and this is Joe DiMaggio's last playing days card. Here's another food issue. This is the Drake's cookies and Tommy Henrik from 1950. The next card is from a 1948 set. It's the blue tints. It's not a food issue. I mean, they were cards. I think they're hand cut, so a lot of them look like this. This is my Ted Williams. And here's another sort of an unusual one for one of the very few cards that were issued during the wartime. This is 1943 Joe DiMaggio, and it's the MP and Company card. I kind of like these. A lot of people don't like them, but I do. Uh, Here's a 1936 Goudy wide pen, so called because the signatures are made with a heavier duty pen. And of course, this is Joe DiMaggio and his manager, Joe McCarthy. And I guess, as much as anything, you could consider this to be a rookie card, 1936, Gaudy, premium. Here's a Wheaties card. This is a big card. That is, it's physically big. And also Joe DiMaggio. And this one is the 1937 Wheaties card, Series 8, hand cut, obviously. Looks like it was hand cut with a chainsaw. But, it's a Joe DiMaggio card. And the next card I have is a 1927 York Caramel. And this is George Yule. George was a pitcher. I've got, I think, 3 of these cards, including a pie trainer. Um, I'd like to have more, but they're pretty expensive. Even this was a obviously a candy issue. It's designated the E210, and there is a Babe Ruth version of this, which I'd love to have. It's a again 1927, so that's a big year for the Babe. Here's a 1921 strip card, so called because they were issued in strips. This is Walter Johnson, and at the present time, it's really the only playing days Walter Johnson card that I have. So it's from 1921. And the last card I have to show you is a T206. And you might say, well, how is that a rare or a card or a scarce card? Well, what's rare about it is Richard Hoplitzel, Dick Hoplitzel, was a baseball player from Clarksburg, West Virginia, which is, right up the road from me. And there are members of the Hoplitzel family still living in the town I live in, which is close to Parkersburg, West Virginia. And I think it's scarce because, there aren't very many Major League Baseball players from Parkersburg, West Virginia, although 2 you may have heard of. Back in the 70s, there was a guy named Steve Swisher who was a journeyman catcher for the Cubs and several other teams. And more recently, his son, whose name escapes me at the moment, but he played for the Yankees and the Cleveland Indians. Geez, I'm having a senior moment. So anyway, Dick Hoplitzel was, I think, maybe the first player from our area to make it into the major leagues. So I think that makes it pretty scarce in a sense. So those are my oddball, scarce, rare cards, or some of them. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I think I have accomplished the 2 main things that Sammy wanted us to do. And so I've kept it in the range of, I don't know how much, I can't see the time. So maybe 14 minutes, something like that. Anyway, this is Rocket Rick J18, and wishing that you and your collecting dreams all come true.